I would love you to understand pneumonia. Coronaviruses and influenzas cause pneumonia. You can overcome pneumonia at home with your hands. Coronaviruses versus influenzas, what's the difference? I want to share that with you. I want to share enough with you that you understand pneumonia. Because when you understand something, you know how to deal with it. If you don't understand it, you have to run to somebody else. And who's going to take the best care of your body? Somebody else or you? Well, you are, obviously. Did you know that viruses die in contact with copper? If a virus lands on copper, it dies. Well, I didn't know that till a few years ago. But what I did know is that if a bacteria lies on silver, it dies. Because years ago when I was a boy, we had a lot of friends that were ambassadors and ambassadors' families. And my parents were invited to the Indian embassy for a dinner. And after dinner, on the desserts, they served really fine little pieces of silver on top of their desserts. Well, the wealthy of the world know that silver gets rid of bacteria. So after their meals, guess what they put on their desserts? Little tiny flakes of silver. Because it kills the bacteria. So if there's any bacteria in the food or in the house or around them, or somebody comes in with a cold that's got a bacteria, well, hey, guess what? That silver knocks it out. Coronaviruses were first discovered in 1960 and make up a large family of viruses that can infect birds and mammals, including humans. The four most common coronaviruses don't jump to humans, but the other three do. The other three viruses are SARS, which first appeared in Guangdong, China in 2002. Next was MERS that appeared in Saudi Arabia in 2012. And finally, in 2019, this novel coronavirus appeared in Wuhan, China. Now, these viruses have been responsible for several outbreaks around the world. So, the viruses cause pneumonia. They cause respiratory problems. Now, what's the difference between an influenza and a virus? Influenzas can be broken down into four types, A, B, C, and D. Type A is the one that affects most of us in this country. It's very contagious, and it can be found in different animals, including ducks, chickens, pigs, whales, horses, and seals. Influenza H1N1 was a virus that appeared in 2009, causing a pandemic. It was called the swine flu. There are four types of influenzas, A, B, C, and D. And I would love to go into all that with you, but I'm going to send that to you if you drop me a note. If you just drop me a note that says pneumonia on the subject line, I'm going to send you all this information that I've got stacked up here. Did you know that in the years 2017 to 2018, 80,000 people in the United States died of the side effects of influenza? What is the side effect of influenza? It's a respiratory problem. It's called pneumonia. When I was in my 50s, I caught pneumonia so badly that at the time, my wife had planned my funeral. Had called all my friends and said, we're going to bury him. He's going to die. He's not going to make it. I was burning up with fever. I was so sick I was hallucinating. But I had been taught how to get rid of pneumonia. So I did what I was taught, and I made it through. I'm still here, 18 years later. I'm 75, and healthy as a horse. So here's what I want you to know. I want you to know that you can learn how to get rid of your pneumonia all by yourself. Now, you can do something even better than I did, because when I got that pneumonia, all I had was my hands. And then I bought what's called a percussor. And you can buy a percussor. At the time, the percussor I bought was like $600 or $700. But you can buy a percussor today on Amazon for $59.95, I think is the least expensive one, all the way up to a couple $1,000s. But you don't need a couple $1,000 percussor, because what does a percussor do? it's got a round pad on it, and it bounces on your chest 4,000 times a minute. And what it does is it jars your chest. It jars the alveoli in your lungs, so the liquid that's stuck in the alveoli comes out, and you cough it up. You cough it up. Now here's what pneumonia is, so just so you understand. If you think about a tree, it's got branches and limbs, but at the end of that is leaves. Well, the same thing is, that's the way our lungs set up. Our lungs got all these branches going into our lungs, and at the end of these branches is looks like little pods of grapes. Those are alveoli. Now they're hollow, and they have capillaries next to them, and as the blood goes past those alveoli, the alveoli draws the CO2 out of the capillaries and puts oxygen back into the capillaries, and the oxygen is carried back to the rest of the body. But when the alveoli gets filled up with fluid, they don't function. They're stuck. They're stuck. So pneumonia is inflammation of those alveoli, and when they get inflamed, guess what happens? Well, when you get a bump and you get swelling, they call it edema. What is edema? Well, that's lymph fluid running to that area to get rid of the inflammation. Well, when the lymph fluid rushes to the alveoli and rushes into it to get rid of the inflammation, guess what? The alveoli doesn't work because it's full of lymph fluid. So what we're going to do is we're going to vibrate our alveoli, vibrate it, shake it, and as we shake it, guess what? That lymph fluid comes out, and we cough it up and get rid of it. We cough it up and get rid of it. Now, it may not happen the first time we do it. We may have to do it, 4 or 5 times a day for 2 or 3 days. But when you get an inflammation, does it last forever? No. Lymph runs in and cleans it out, and within a few days it's gone. Well, the same way with pneumonia. When you get pneumonia, you may be able to knock it out the first day or the second day or the third day, but once you knock it out, then you get better and you're all better again. And at the same time, you build up antibodies to that, whatever that virus or that infection or that bacteria was. So this is all about learning how to get rid of your pneumonia and learning about yourself so that you're confident. If I got pneumonia tomorrow, I would be so confident it would be gone that I would just go after it and it would go. Because I've done it. Once you've done it, you've done it. Now, when I was a kid in school, we had this thing called show and tell. And when you see something shown, then you kind of understand it and you can do it. Well, I'm going to show and tell you with this process. I'm going to show you how to get rid of this problem. Back in World War I and World War II and the Korean War, when a soldier on the front line got pneumonia, the nurses would take him into the tent, lay him on a bed, put his legs up on an area above him so he's in a seated position on his back. They would beat on his chest and knock the pneumonia out of him. Now, it may take a day or two, and some of you may be old World War II or Korean War fellows that are watching this video right now, and some of you may have experienced this in the military. The military is brilliant about getting soldiers back into the game as fast as they can. So this was developed by the military, and they get all the credit for it. It's not my work, it's their work. It's just happened that it saved my life, and I'm hoping that it'll save your life and everybody that you know. So did you know that up until 1911 that nurses in hospitals did massage? Massage was an integral part of their work. But in 1911 something happened. Petrochemicals came out with injectables. And instead of massaging a person to relax them, they inject them in the muscle and relax the muscle. So nursing kind of fell away from the nursing. Massage fell away from the nursing field, except for in the military. So when I got pneumonia, I was so weak that I almost couldn't get to the bathroom, which was only about 20 feet away. And what really saved me was what I'm going to show you. So if you know anybody, well, when you understand what pneumonia is, you won't be afraid of it. It won't scare you anymore. Now, when my family landed here on the Mayflower, a couple hundred years ago, the natives talked about two blood systems. And of course, our people thought they were, what are they talking about? We got red blood, right? I mean, when you get cut, you bleed red, right? Well, no, that's not right, because in 1961, Dr. Arthur Guyton, who's written probably the most profound medical journals in all the medical schools today, started researching the second blood system. And what it is, it's clear. It's called lymph. And when you get a cut, sometimes you get a scrape, there's something clear that comes out of your body on the scrape. Well, that clear is the second blood system. It's lymph. Well, it's lymph that does a lot of the healing. It's lymph that goes into your lungs to heal those alveoli, and it's going there because it wants to do a good thing, but the problem is that it fills them up. It doesn't, it's going there to get rid of the infection or the inflammation. It's going to get rid of it, but in the process, it fills them up. So what I want you to do is I want you to understand and know that you're capable of fixing yourself. You don't need to run to anybody else to fix you. Now, I've got 12 pages of information on lymph and well, I've got a couple websites to send you to by Dr. John Campbell from England. Unbelievable teacher. In 10 minutes, you will completely understand how your lungs work. In 10 minutes. And he's an artist. He's really good about drawing graphs and circles and showing you what's going on. So I want to share that with you. And also, I want to share a video from Sarah Westall so you'll understand that this coronavirus, this new one out here, it was manufactured. It's not natural. It's an unnatural virus. And of course, I'm not going to go into that with you right now, but you can certainly research it on your own. I'll give you some information about the National Institute of Health, the Food and Drug Administration. When Otto Warburg won his first Nobel Prize in 1931, he won a Nobel Prize for showing that cancer was anaerobic. It can't live in oxygen. And I learned something that I didn't know from Otto Warburg. I learned that chaga mushrooms will make the body alkaline, and it'll stop cancer dead in its tracks. And I hadn't heard of chaga mushrooms, CHAGA mushrooms. And you make a tea out of chaga mushrooms, and if I had cancer tomorrow, I would go get some chaga mushroom tea. That's what I would do. If I had cancer, I'd eat no refined sugar, no fruit or fish that doesn't have scales. I would not drink alcohol. I would eat 45 sun chlorella tablets every day. Sun chlorella is a product that you can buy from Vitacost.com. I don't sell any of this stuff I'm telling you about. I'm not allowed to make money if I'm giving you this information, so I don't make any money. I'd also drink distilled water with fresh lemons and sweetened with stevia. So if you want all this information that I've got on these 12 pages, it's yours for free. All you've got to do is just drop me a note at will@the4cups, TheFourCups.com, and put pneumonia on the subject line, and I'll send you a boatload of material. I still have an office. My office is still on Connecticut Avenue in Washington, D.C., right across the street from the National Zoo. I'm available. In fact, if you want to know more about me, if you go to the4cups.com, they have me listed on there as one of their experts. So I've been doing this for over 50 years. And in my 50 years, I have one goal in mind. I want to see the world well and healthy. My whole purpose now is to make sure that the world is healthy, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. That's my goal. So I'm going to show you what I learned from this nurse that was retired from the military. So if you'll bear with me just a second. I wish I was 19, but I'm 75. So here I am. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to lay with your calves up on a chair. You could have a pillow under your head if you're more comfortable. You're going to relax. So you're going to take a nice inhale and exhale. And then you're going to cup your hands and you're going to beat your lungs. Now your lungs are underneath of your rib cage on either side. All the way up top, all the way down to the bottom of your rib cage. That's all lungs. Your lungs go from here to here on either side. So you're gonna tap on your lungs. You're gonna beat on your lungs until all that fluid in that alveoli breaks loose. And then you're just gonna cough it up. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Now sometimes when you've got pneumonia, it hurts to inhale and exhale. So you just do it slowly. Take a nice slow inhale, as deep as you can take it, and exhale. And do this a few times until your lungs start to open back up. Because your lungs are running down here. When you're breathing out here. You're not breathing down here. You're not breathing into your stomach. You're breathing down your sides. So you breathe horizontally. Inhale. Exhale. So breathe into your lungs. Your lungs are here. Now, if you really want, I want to tell you something I'd like you to try. Sit up nice and straight. Roll your shoulders back. Take a nice inhale as deep as you can take it through your nostrils. And exhale through your mouth. And do that slowly and deeply 10 times, and that will turn on your parasympathetic nervous system. If you have digestive problems, you'll see they'll probably go away. If you have trouble sleeping, if you do that before you go to bed at night, you'll probably go right to sleep. This is how you turn on your parasympathetic nervous system. And I'm going to teach you all this stuff because I love you. So come back and visit me. Thanks.